So in this book, Seth Godin tells us that marketing is the slow act of earning trust through consistency, through generosity, and through empathy. The only way to build an audience in 2025, 2026, an audience who love you, who want to learn from you, who actually give you their permission to teach them, it's to lead with value, it's to share the answer up front. Okay, so this video, part 2, is more of a practical masterclass. So how do you apply this principle of being of service up front, being deeply of service up front, solving problems for people long before they give you any money? I've written down here the 6 biggest things we do as online marketeers. We've got content we create, we run webinars, we love a webinar, ads that we run, PDFs, long copy PDFs, checklists, all that jazz, discovery calls, sales calls, and then of course sales pages. And what I've done is I've made a table and I've showed you what the hook, gimmick, fake-ass version of this is going to look like, which will take you years to turn into money. And I'm going to show you what the authentic, honest, purpose-driven, almost Seth Godin version of marketing is. This might take a beat to figure out and get going, but it will build a pipeline of audience for you, meaning you'll never have to worry about sales again. So take your pick. What do you want? The hook and the gimmick or the frickin' answer? I say we go for the answer. Let's frickin' go. Now, remember, the aim of the game here is not to trick people, and it's not even to get volume. It's not that. The aim of the game here is to get one person at a time looking at you and seeing you as the mentor, as in they come across a bit of content, they get in your world, they experience you, and they can't stop thinking about you. They listen to the episode twice, they download the PDF and they print it off and they can't wait to read it. They're talking to their friends and family about you. You send them an email and they see your name and go, oh brilliant, such and such has emailed, can't wait to read it. Or they've emailed, there's a video, I can't wait to watch that tonight. I'm gonna go onto YouTube on the TV and I'm gonna watch it properly. That's what we're talking about. How do you create that at all of these different levels? Let me show you practically what this looks like, okay? So let's start with content. When I watch people's videos or I read their content, I don't feel like they're actually sharing anything. There's nothing in there that's novel, that's useful, that's the actual answer. A lot of it is very high level, it's summaries, it's maybe not even stories, but like a story of their own life. I listen to it and I think, is that really the answer? So if I talk to a client one-to-one and I read their PDF or I watch their webinar or their video or something, and then I get on the call with them and I say to them, before we go through and I give you the feedback, can I just ask you some questions? They're like, yeah, sure. And I say, what was the moment your life changed? What was the thing that you did that you've never told anybody about that actually led to a result? What is the stuff that's too difficult to talk about, that you don't want to talk about because it looks too hard and you're worried people won't do it? And then they tell me the truth. They tell me what it actually took to change their life, grow their business, heal their relationship, get a result. And when they're done and I can see in them, they recognize the value of it, I go, okay, go make that piece of content again, but that's what you share. That's what you share, the truth. Now, in content, when people share a video or a blog or even a reel and it's really, really light, it's such a waste of time because if people find it, they get no value from it. They're like, great, I've got permission to scroll and never consume from that person again. What we want to do is put so much value in the video, explain something, change their perspective, tell a story about the truth of what it took, highlight the 3 biggest things they can do to start getting a new result. But here's the critical thing. We do not want to make it hard for them to consume that content. So here's one of the questions I get all the time. Okay, Lisa, so I'm going to share the video. Where should I put it? And how do I get people to watch the video? The answer to this is to put the video natively in as many places as you can. For me, it isn't about going viral and getting 10,000 people to watch the video. Do you really need 10,000 people to watch a video for your life to change? I don't think you do. If 5 people sat and watched your video to the end and 2 of them became customers, would you feel that? And if you felt that, would you then think this video is good? I will now spend money getting more people to watch it. Because of that, I would say upload the video to YouTube for your YouTube community. Put it on your website so you can email people and have a direct link and it's just straight there. No opt-in, no clicks, there it is. Put it on Facebook natively. Upload the video to Facebook. Put text above the video that has the biggest insight that you share in the video. put it in the text, because if someone reads something that speaks to the problem they're having and they can see the solution, they're probably going to press play on the video. And even if they don't, they'll remember that paragraph. It isn't about getting them to consume every bit or to do every single thing with you. It's about them seeing you, hearing, consuming something, and it changing the way they feel that day. That's what it's really about. So as best you can, upload it to these platforms, because if someone finds you on Facebook for the first time and you say, oh, I want all the views on that YouTube video, you've got to click here. Well, they're probably not going to click for a stranger. They're on Facebook. They don't want to go to YouTube. Same for Instagram, same for something else. So you've got to serve the value in the room they're already in. Now, Lisa, what about Instagram? The reels can only be so long. All right, no worries. Do what I do. You make a video and you take the most compelling clips from that video, the real money moment where you share something really good, really bold. You upload that as a reel, not a 5-second hook reel with like little highlights, something juicy, something good, something, listen, that they consume, and it actually changes the way they feel or think or behave that day. And then you say, if you'd like the rest of the video, click here, link in bio, it's on YouTube, say it's on YouTube, no sign up, get full access, search my name, and I'll come up. Do you see? I'm making it as easy as possible for them to get the core message, to consume the value, to then take the next step, which in this case is a bit of a leap to go onto another platform. That's how we do it with content, okay? If you get good at that, you can then use your best reels and your best content in ads, but we'll come back to that. With webinars, here's the next one. With webinars, do not follow this. I freaking hate this template. Hey, once upon a time, I was just like you. Hey, this is a case study from someone who has got this result. They didn't think it was possible. Oh, back to my story. Then I did this, then I did this. Now I'm a millionaire, and you can be too. You're probably smiling, you recognize that process. I hate it. We all know it's a trick and it's a trap, especially if we're purpose driven. How about instead, you open your webinar and you say, in this webinar, I'm going to share with you, for example, the truth about what it takes to hit 6 figures. There's 3 things these people do that the other people who don't hit that figure, they don't do it. Maybe word it better than how I've just worded it. And then within literally the first 90 seconds of that webinar, bam, you hit them with something where they go, I need a pen, I need a pen, I've got to write that down. You do not want to start the webinar with, hey guys, just waiting for people to join. Where have you signed in from? In this webinar, it's so good, we're going to share this. But first, let me tell you my story. Don't do that. No one cares. No one cares. They're not there for your story. They're there for the value. When they get the value, they're going to want your story for context, to learn who you are, see if they can trust you, but they're not going to get there without the value first. So in the webinar, you've got to ask yourself, what is the title of the webinar? Let it be an essay question. Let it be almost like a challenge to you, a question that you've got to answer. How do you hit 6 figures? How do you heal from this trauma? How do you fix this in a relationship? How do you build this flat pack IKEA furniture? Whatever it is, you don't then go, here's my story about how I unpacked the flat pack furniture. No, you go straight to, first thing you're going to need are these things. Most people do this. That's a mistake. You should probably do this. Here's how this works. Teach, teach, teach. And throughout the webinar, reference your programs, reference your clients. That's absolutely fine, because people need to know that you're not just a teacher, that you actually have programs and things that they can buy. And towards the end of the webinar, you go, guys, that's all I'm going to share with you. If that's everything you wanted, I'm so glad you're in my world. Keep an eye out. There'll be more content coming soon. If, however, you've been looking for a coach, you think I might be the right person, therapist, healer, whatever you do, then in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to explain with you the 3 ways you can work with me. Do I then have to rush through it? Do I have to hide the fact I'm selling? No, because these people think, wow, love that. I'd love to learn that. What are the options? And then you actually get to sell. And it's not even selling. You just get to explain what you have got, and then people will buy. So different. The exact same is true of PDFs. In PDFs, I hate when people use ChatGPT to write a PDF. It's not going to be good. ChatGPT is brilliant. I love it. Couldn't run my business without it, and that's a fact, which is a bit dangerous. But there's no way I would sit down and go, I'm going to write a profound 20-page document telling people the truth of what this takes, and I shall start with chat. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd do the exact process I've explained to you. I would think of my customers. I would think about my own life. I would think about the market, and I would think, what is the truth of what this takes? What is the God's honest truth of what it takes to get a result? What are the 3 biggest things? What's the 5-step process? What are the 10 biggest insights I've got? Then I would just type that out. At this point, you might be saying, Lisa, If I give it all away, why would they buy from me? They will buy from you because they are looking for a coach, a mentor, a therapist. Humans want to work with other humans. They're not looking to steal from you. They're not looking for a quick fix. If they are, you don't want those people as customers. Let them have your stuff. Let them jog on. You're looking for people who want to work with you. But in order for them to trust you, they have to see up front how you can change their lives. So change their lives. That's how you do it in a PDF. With ads, this one is huge. This is probably my favorite one. And I'll just say, I'm going to explain this process to you. And if you want to learn more about it, I've got a course that's like, it's around £100, £120, teaching you how to run meta ads, teaching you this exact strategy. So if you want to find out more about that, there's going to be a link below. Some of you will hear this and want to implement this. Here's how you do it with ads. With ads, loads of people run ads with like a PDF, a webinar, an opt-in, whatever. 5 years ago, they were fire. Now, even if you spend a lot of money and people actually sign up for your webinar, you might have experienced no one turns up because they've signed up to 6 webinars that week because they're all people who want a quick fix from the quick hook, from the quick promise. We don't want those people in our world, in our funnel. We want people who are considered, who will read, who will watch, who are looking for a solution, who are doing the work. With your ads, flip it. Don't lead with a freebie, with a hook, with a download, a webinar, any of that. This is so different from what they're teaching in the market, so it might sound weird, but hear me out. Instead, take the best video that you've made over the last 6 months, because you'll be making them every week or every 2 weeks. You take the video that had the biggest impact, that got the best feedback, that got the most likes, and then you go Meta, YouTube, Google, whoever, run traffic to this video. I just need more people to watch it. If more people watch this video, they'll then be curious about who I am and how they can work with me. Then this is the genius bit that I love, right? You share that bit of content, they'll watch it 10%, 20%, they'll forget it, they'll forget who you are, they'll get distracted, and then boom, you're gone from their world forever, unless you retarget them. Retargeting them is when you take little clips from that video, another video, you take another video that you did, another topic in a similar area, and you spend money to show that bit of content to anybody who watched 20%, 25% of that first video. Now you're paying up front to build that trust, to build that community. But if you can create an audience of, say, doing that, you might spend like £500 and build a new audience of like 40,000 people. Honestly, it's amazing. If of those 40,000 people, even 20 of them were starting to look at you, reading your content, clicking on your website, clicking the link to find out how much it is to work with you, would that change your life? Would that change your business? Of course it would. If I've got an audience of 40,000 new people and I spent 500 quid, 800 quid building that audience, I was retargeting them, and now I've got 100 new people looking at me. I've got 100 new people clicking on the pages, watching the videos. I've got new subscribers, new followers. That always follows good content. And then I run a webinar, and then I announce a masterclass, and then I release a PDF and spend money to show it to that hot, warm, new, interested audience who are already looking at me and already know, like, and trust me. What do you think the conversion numbers are going to be then on the consumption of that bit of marketing material? It just makes sense, doesn't it? But it feels like a risk. Lisa, are you telling me I'm going to spend money to get people to watch content for free and not even collect their email address? That is exactly what I'm telling you to do. Add value up front long before you ever ask for anything off the customer. 2 more to go. Next one is the discovery call. You know, in discovery calls, this is where you're going to sell a program, an offer, coaching, could be anything, services, consultancy. People get on a discovery call and they think the purpose of the call is to talk about the program and the value that it offers. That is not the purpose of a discovery call. The purpose of a discovery call is to give somebody a feeling of what it's like to work with you and show how well you understand their problem and almost come up with the initial plan that you would work on together if that person then signed up with you. So when I do a discovery call with somebody, when they get on the phone with me, first of all, I don't get on Zoom calls with strangers. They will have already watched a number of videos, that have been on a webinar, that have met me live. That is important because it's too hard to have that conversation with somebody who doesn't know anything about you. I would avoid calls like that. So they get on a call with me, and my question to them is always, what are you trying to do? Where are you now? What do you think you need? And sometimes I'll ask, why me? What was it about me that you liked, that you think you can learn from me? In that process, I ask question after question after question. I'm digging and digging and digging because in the call, what I'm looking for is the answer. And on the call, I will say to people, this is what you're going to have to do. This is what it looks like based on what you're telling me. And then we'll talk about what that plan would look like. 9 times out of 10, like I say, they then become customers. And the way I frame it is the first call wasn't a discovery call. We almost just did the first coaching call because now we've got a plan. We've clarified the vision. We've clarified where they are. And we've got an outline of what they need to do. The coaching package is then the delivery of that. It's me supporting them in that change because it's hard to go and do the things that we spoke about in the plan. You have to go through emotional changes. You have to learn new skills. You have to do things like write stuff, try stuff. How amazing to get feedback from somebody who's done it, who's in your corner, who wants to help. So when you're doing discovery calls, don't get on a call and say, can I tell you a bit about the program? How did you hear about me? What are you looking for? Get on the call and find out, where are they? Where are they trying to get to in their life and business? Reframe it back to them. Have I got that right? Okay, brilliant. What have you tried? How did that work? What else do you think you need? It's almost like coaching in a way. And then you offer your own intervention, your own solutions, your own ideas, and something along the lines of, what I think is needed is this. What do you think to that? How would we adapt that? And then when the person goes, that is exactly what I need to do, then you say, that's exactly what we'd work on together. Shall I now tell you how this might work? And now they're engaged, and that's it. It's such a simple shift, but again, it's no hook, it's no promise, it's no sell. Don't sell. You don't need to sell. Prove that you can help them by actually finding the problem, defining it better than they've ever defined it, and giving them like an insight, a map, a methodology, a process. Show them how you're going to help them through it. The second they have that light bulb moment, they are not more willing to buy, because it's not that you would then sell and trick them. They will then ask you, so what are my options? How does this work? Okay, last one on the list, we've got the sales page. Now, when I see people's sales pages, there is always this one fundamental problem. On the sales page, they never tell anyone how they're going to do it. The methodology and the journey is always missing. So in a kind of naff hook promise sales page, what we see are pain points. If you would like this result, but are struggling with this barrier, I will help you to do this through 6 coaching calls. How typical is that as a sales page? I bet a lot of people watching your sales page follows that outline, because that's what people are teaching online. Doesn't work. The biggest thing your sales page needs is a methodology, a process, something that shows you know how it works. And I'll just give you the best analogy that will help this to land. Say you were booking a holiday and you were going to book like a 5-star all-inclusive holiday to the Caribbean. Oh my God, how amazing. And you went to all these travel agents and you said, I want to go to the Caribbean, this is what we're thinking. And they said, this is the hotel, this is the food, this is the environment, this is what you're going to be doing on holiday. You said, amazing, how do we get there? And they said to you, don't worry about that, it's all taken care of. Just sign here and then I'll take you there. You're like, no, sorry, is it flights? Is it standard? Is it economy? Are there meals? Is there an in-flight service? Is there a transport pickup from the hotel to the airport and the other way around? Don't worry, honestly, we've got you covered. That is what you're doing on your sales page when you don't explain the methodology of how you're going to get them there. Say I'm an expert in helping people get to 6 figures. Maybe I do it because I tell people to invest in the stock market. I don't do that. Maybe I tell people to invest in the stock market. Maybe I tell people build properties, like property portfolios. Maybe I tell people to be a thought leader in their space, build an audience, lead with value, and then invite people to buy their amazing programs. Maybe that's what I do. If I don't tell you and I just say, I will help you build a 6-figure business, I could be teaching Bitcoin, whatever that even is. I don't do that. If you go on my sales pages, you'll see me say, if you're looking for this result and you're currently here, as in you want to get to 6 figures, you currently have, an offer, customers, you've posted some content, here's what we need to do, number 1, number 2, number 3. When we work together, I will not only coach you and guide you to do it, but I will help you do the work by reviewing your sales pages, giving you feedback. On some packages, I'll rebuild the website, I'll run the ads. There's all different things, but I explain how we do it. My methodology and my thought process is not only on the sales pages, but it's threaded through my entire marketing experience. Do you think, listening to me, you'd get on a call with me and be surprised when I said we need to make content? Would you be surprised if I said that? No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, oh, makes sense. That is her entire approach. So on the sales page, go and look at it and ask, have you gone down the classic? Are you here? Do you want to be here? I can help you. Click this link to book a call. Or have you actually explained the methodology? The other thing I see on sales pages is people say things like, weekly call, 6 training calls with me, access to the vault. What? What does that even mean? Don't say that. Doesn't mean anything. I can copy and paste that text and put it on my page from your page, and I'd get away with it, so it's no good. In my pages, if it says, for example, we'll do calls together, I would say, we'll do calls together, and here's what we do on these calls. Here's how you prepare for them. Here's the kind of stuff we cover. I will review your documents, your sales pages. I'll watch your webinar. I'll give you feedback. Then you'll go away with a task. Then this, then this. Because if you don't explain what you're actually doing, you've missed the entire opportunity to sell. The opportunity to sell is in the explanation of why you think calls are needed, or why you think this initial video series is needed, or why you've produced a workbook. Like, why did you do that? Why have you made a membership? Why is it a membership and not a course? Explain that, because that is the sell. They'll be like, oh, I get it. It's so that I can dip into this content. It's because community is the most important part of the transformation versus why is the call 10-minute videos versus 1-hour videos? It's so that you can. The so that you can bit is the sell, and most people are missing it, okay? Listen, that's everything I'm going to share today. I hope you enjoyed this follow-up masterclass on how you really lead with value instead of hooks and gimmicks and promises. And if you look around this video, you'll find the big programs, the big ways to work with me, but also a series of mini courses, micro masterclasses, quick ways to start learning this stuff from me practically, step by step. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Over and out.